Alrighty, hello again. Okay, let's see. Today. I was thinking about how when you're when you're at a low point, when you're in kind of a dark place or a scary place or just a difficult, uncomfortable place, whether that be, from a breakup or from whatever XYZ problem you're in that's causing you an issue. I think that it's important. I've learned to stay strong in those moments and not turn to the easiest solution. Because the easiest solution, and it's not even really a solution, I suppose, but the easiest thing to do for a lot of people is to turn to instant gratification, unhealthy habits. And so I guess an example of that is partying and drinking and doing drugs. And so at those low moments, I think it's difficult to stay strong and kind of keep doing what you were doing, because now you're broken down, like you're mentally destroyed, and you have a much harder time, much more difficult time to stay disciplined and stay healthy. It's definitely way harder. But I think that if you stick with that and you still do those healthy things, even though it might be significantly harder than before, it'll actually make your recovery that much faster, and it'll improve kind of just the way that you're living. I think that while you might immediately think that it's the best move to, go and get hammered with all your friends and go sleep around with some girls and do all these things, that might feel like the best option in the moment, but just trust me that it's not. I think that's what a lot of people turn to, is because that's just so readily there. It's just the easiest route, and they've already been through a difficult time. That's why they are in this place of darkness, right? They've been through a difficult thing, whatever that might mean for them. And so people don't want to face the difficult solution again. They turn to the easy road, which a lot of times is almost always is not the right path. And so, partying and blowing all your money away and losing your discipline with the way you eat and not working out anymore. I mean, there's one thing becomes another, which becomes another and another and another, and they stack up, I think, probably pretty quickly. Once you break your discipline on one thing, you're more likely, and I've been over this before, you're more likely to break discipline on a whole host of other things as well. So I think you really got to stay diligent and consistent and disciplined with the healthy things that are actually helping you. Even though, like, for example, in the mornings, for months now, I've been doing yoga and meditation and affirmations, and doing those things were difficult, particularly because this girl that I was seeing, she did all of those same things. We did them together a lot of times, sometimes, and it reminded me of her in a big way. And it was especially hard because for me, the mornings are tricky just in general, because it's just, especially now in the wintertime, it's dark and cold and I feel alone, and I'm being reminded of her so vividly that I'm doing these things that are she won't leave my head. And so that was especially hard for me, but I never ever stopped doing that, because I knew that yoga and meditation and affirmations were all healthy habits that I had established. And so I maintained those healthy habits. And yes, while it was hard, and there were certainly, most of the mornings were like, this sucks, I don't even want to do this, because I want to run away from my problems. I don't want to face them again, and to me, facing my problem was, so if I were to run, I would have just not thought about yoga, not thought about meditation. I would have just not done any of that, because again, it just gave me all these memories of her, and I was just trying to run from those memories because I didn't want to be hurt. I was tired of being hurt. My heart was in pain, and still is in pain in a lot of ways. It's not that long after that happened. It's only been like a little over a week now, but I feel like I am recovering relatively quickly because I've been maintaining my healthy habits, and that's been, I think, really helpful. So I guess the main message is, don't turn, a lot of times, I guess I'm gonna go. Oh man, that was kind of a red light almost. So I guess the main message though is don't choose the easy option really ever in life. I don't think that the easy road is hardly ever beneficial. The easy road leads to mediocre results. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes, because most people take the easy road, and a lot of that, usually that means that you're running from your issues. You're running from your problems. You're not facing them. So I think that if you just stop running and start facing your issues, while again, yes, it'll be hard in the moment. Of course it is. That's the harder. That's a much more difficult thing to do, is to face your problems and face your fears. That's way scarier. It's way harder. And we all know that, which is why we all run from them. So I guess the main message though is just to don't take the easy road. Maintain your healthy habits, and that'll lead to a better, faster recovery. And I think just learning from the state that you're in is also really helpful too. For a long time I used to, and I still will, but I'm just learning about the place that I'm in now. So I've been learning about grieving a lot. I've been learning about just breakups and love and emotions and pain. I've been learning about all of these things because it's kind of all that I can think about. And so I've been researching and really learning about this place that I'm in right now. And so I think that's helpful too, is don't just stop learning completely. Learn about the place you're in, like figure out how to because if you're in pain now, it means that you have some work to do. It means you have to be feeling those emotions and get those all out, and experience them and be learning throughout the whole process. I used to research real estate and do a whole bunch of different research topics every day pretty much, because I was and still am obsessed with learning about kind of anything that's important to me. I research stocks and real estate and all these. I'd be reading books and writing my blog and doing all these things that are productive in that way. But lately I've kind of shifted that focus to learning about my emotions and how to love and how to have a relationship and different things like that, because I think that's, while yes, it's a different focus and it's a different area of life, I think that's majorly crucial. If I have that part figured out, that'll help probably the rest of my life, and the rest of my other areas in my life. If I have that really solid and I feel really safe and secure and optimistic and positive with my relationships and the way I feel emotionally, that'll have a major effect on every other area of my life. And so I'm just using this time in my current, mindset and my current frame of thought, my current, just where I'm at mentally. I'm using that as a different platform to learn other things, so I'm figuring out all these different things now. And so I guess that just feels easier to me. And it feels more not relative. It feels more applicable, I guess, now, because that's just what's on my heart. And so I don't want to research real estate right now because I have other things that are more important to me. And so I guess that's kind of the main message. Anyway, I didn't even write anything down on my little notepad today. It was just kind of me thinking about that. So don't take the easy road. Take the road that will in the future give you better results and more and faster results as well. So don't take the easy road. Don't turn to partying. Don't turn to going out at the club with your friends and reliving those bad habits that you had worked so hard at getting rid of. So I guess that's kind of just the main message. I don't know how much else. I'm going backpacking. I'm leaving tonight, pretty much, kind of. So I got a little over a week off of work, and that's amazing. I'm excited about that. This whole therapy thing, I think I'm gonna keep researching some therapy stuff more, because again, I think verbalizing what's happening in your life is huge. Kind of if you're too quiet and you're too silent, and you kind of get stuck in your head sometimes, or at least I do. So I think it's helpful to have a person there in your life to help you verbalize and express what you're feeling. So I think that therapy is potentially a good route for me to take. And I think that I'm strong enough as a person to do that. I think that feels kind of like a vulnerable thing, like you're admitting that you need help. You're saying, you know what, I don't have everything figured out. I need some assistance. Please help me. And so it's kind of a vulnerable thing in that way. But anyway, I think that therapy would be really good for me, and probably for a lot of people too. So, okay, that's all I got to say. See ya. Yeah, I can do a video tomorrow, I think. All right, Roger out.